Welcome everyone to today's presentation, Navigating the Landscape of Data Management. I'm Mirko Peters, founder of the Data and Analytics LinkedIn page and YouTube channel. If you're passionate about using data to make smarter decisions, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, let me remind you to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it with your network. Because let's be honest, growth is a team effort. The more we share and collaborate, the more we all grow together as a data-driven community. Today, we're tackling some of the most important topics in modern data management. Data lineage, team structures, and observability. Think of these as the compass, crew, and radar for navigating your organization's data journey. Let me leave you with this thought as we start. Good decisions come from good data, and good data comes from knowing where it's been. What are the biggest challenges you've faced in managing your data? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. All right, let's get started. Remember, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and let's grow together. All right, let's jump into our first topic, data source lineage. To explain this concept, let me use a simple analogy. Imagine you're baking a cake. To make sure it turns out perfectly, you'd want to know exactly where each ingredient came from, the flour, the eggs, the sugar, and how they were processed before landing on your countertop. Was the flour milled properly? Are the eggs fresh? Similarly, in data lineage, we're essentially tracing the recipe of your data, where it originated, how it was transformed, and where it's stored or used. Now, why does this matter? Well, just like knowing the quality of your cake depends on its ingredients, understanding your data's lineage ensures you're working with reliable, high-quality data. It helps organizations stay compliant with regulations and manage risks, like avoiding a data cake that flops due to missing or faulty ingredients. Let's talk about why data source lineage is so critical, and I'll share a quick real-life anecdote to make this stick. A few years ago, I worked with a retail company that faced a major issue during their annual Black Friday sales. Their pricing data for thousands of products got mixed up. Some prices were way too high, others way too low. The root cause? A single outdated data source feeding into their pricing system had gone unnoticed. They didn't have proper data lineage tracking, so no one realized this faulty source was still in use after a system upgrade. Now imagine if they had the tools to track their data's lifecycle, they would have caught the problem early, saving them millions in lost sales and hours of damage control. This highlights the 3 big wins of data lineage. Understanding the data lifecycle, knowing how data flows across the organization prevents blind spots. Enhancing compliance and risk management, keeping a clear audit trail helps avoid regulatory penalties, facilitating system upgrades and cleanup. Identifying outdated or irrelevant data ensures smooth transitions and better performance. Now, let's talk about compliance and risk management, the unsung heroes of data management. And to set the stage, here's an analogy for you. Imagine you're at an airport, getting ready to board a flight. Think about all the checks your luggage goes through. Scanning, tagging, weighing. Now, why do they do this? To make sure nothing risky sneaks in and everything complies with aviation standards. Your data is like that luggage. It needs to be tracked, inspected, and managed so it doesn't cause turbulence in your operations. With data lineage, you get your very own security checkpoint for data. You can track data's journey to know how it's produced and where it's headed. No mystery bags here. You stay compliant with regulations like GDPR or HIPAA, which is like having the perfect boarding pass ready to go. You prevent disasters during system migrations because, let's be honest, no one wants to miss their connecting flight due to lost luggage. And finally, you keep everything tidy with regular system cleanups, like clearing out those socks you've been hoarding in your suitcase. All right, let's talk about data migration and upgrades, a process that might sound technical, but trust me, its impact on your business is massive. Imagine trying to renovate your house while still living in it. You've got to move things around, replace old furniture, and ensure everything still works while keeping the disruption to a minimum. That's essentially what data migration is like for your business. It's not just about moving data, it's about doing it seamlessly while keeping the lights on for your operations. Here's why it's a game changer for business. Assessing the data landscape. By evaluating your current data, you ensure only the most relevant and valuable assets are carried forward. It's like decluttering before a move, out with the old, in with the essential. Understanding data lineage, knowing where your data comes from and where it's going, reduces the risk of broken processes, which can cost time and money. Strategic migration planning. With a solid strategy, you avoid downtime and ensure the migration aligns with business goals. No scrambling or lost productivity. Executing with precision, using automation for quality checks ensures data integrity because no business can afford errors during a transition. Post-migration cleanup. Cleaning up outdated data improves system performance and reduces costs in the long run. Now let's talk about data system cleanup, a step that's often overlooked but can make or break the efficiency of your operations. Here's the big picture. Over time, systems accumulate outdated, irrelevant, or duplicate data. This junk data clogs up your pipelines, slows down processes, and increases storage costs. Think of it like a messy attic. You need to sort through it to find what's truly valuable. With data lineage, you can track the origin and movement of your data to understand its life cycle, making compliance easier and reducing risk. Facilitate smooth migrations by identifying dependencies and reducing system disruptions. Enhance system performance by removing unnecessary data, leading to faster processes and lower maintenance costs. Since I've been working in this area, I've started applying these principles to my own life. For example, when I go shopping, I leave the packaging I don't need right there in the supermarket. Why take the garbage home when it can stay where it belongs? It's all about efficiency, right? Cleaning up your data systems is just like that. It's about only keeping what adds value. Streamline your systems, and you'll see how much smoother everything operates. Here in Germany, we're known for our strong focus on inclusion. And one fascinating way this comes to life is through dark restaurants. These are places where visually impaired individuals serve guests in complete darkness, giving you a unique opportunity to experience life without sight. It's an amazing exercise in trust, perspective, and adaptation. What do you think? A powerful idea, right? Now imagine running a company without clear visibility of your data. It's like trying to run a business in that same pitch black environment. Without a visual representation of your data lineage, you're essentially operating blind, unable to see where your data is coming from, where it's going, or how it's being used. This is why visualizing your data lineage is so critical. It provides clarity by mapping the journey of your data from its origins to its destination, ensuring you understand how it transforms along the way. A diagrammatic representation acts like a GPS, showing dependencies and flows, helping teams make informed decisions, especially during migrations, audits, or troubleshooting. Just like in the dark restaurant, where a lack of sight heightens your other senses, being data blind forces companies to rely on guesswork, something no successful business can afford. Let's shift gears and focus directly on the topic at hand, field lineage, the most granular level of data lineage tracking. This is where we zoom in and examine individual data fields to understand how they're sourced, transformed, and used across systems. Here are the key points to keep in mind. Upstream and downstream dependencies. Knowing which data sources contribute to a specific field is critical for root cause analysis. If there's a discrepancy, field lineage helps you trace it back to its origin and understand how changes impact downstream systems. Field usage and legacy data management. It's essential to assess whether a field is actively used. This prevents clutter from outdated or irrelevant fields and ensures your data platform remains flexible and efficient. Sensitive data tracking and compliance. Field lineage plays a big role in managing sensitive data. Tracking dependencies ensures compliance with governance policies and avoids costly non-compliance issues. Visual representation of field lineage. Diagrams illustrating field lineage enhance understanding and communication. They help stakeholders visualize complex relationships, enabling better decision-making. Field lineage provides precision in managing data quality and ensures operational efficiency by identifying the most granular details in your data landscape. Let's focus on integrating these practices into our workflows to build robust and compliant systems. Okie dokie, let's dig deeper into upstream dependencies, a crucial concept in effective data management and quality assurance. Definition of upstream dependencies. These refer to the data sources that feed into a specific data field within your system. In simpler terms, it's about knowing where your data comes from and what influences it. Importance for root cause analysis. When data quality issues arise, tracing upstream dependencies allows you to quickly pinpoint the source of the problem. For example, if a report shows inaccurate numbers, you can identify which upstream process or source is causing the discrepancy. This speeds up resolution and minimizes the impact on downstream operations. Facilitating change management. Here's where things get strategic. Any changes to a data source, whether it's an upgrade, migration, or transformation, can ripple through your system. Understanding dependencies helps you anticipate and mitigate these impacts, ensuring smooth transitions and preserving data integrity. Upstream dependencies are like puzzle pieces. To see the full picture, you need to know how each piece connects. If one piece is missing or damaged, the whole system suffers. By focusing on these dependencies, you can keep your data ecosystem robust and responsive. Let's prioritize understanding these connections to maintain clean, reliable data processes. Shall we move on? Let's now turn our attention to managing downstream fields, a critical aspect of maintaining data quality and operational efficiency. Understanding downstream dependencies. Downstream fields are those impacted by changes or issues in a specific upstream field. Think of this as a domino effect. If the first tile tips, it will cascade through the rest. Identifying these dependencies is essential for effective change management and maintaining data integrity across the organization. Impact of data quality issues. When issues arise in a single field, downstream fields often bear the brunt. For instance, an error in a source data field can snowball into inaccurate reports or flawed decision-making. Proactively analyzing and addressing these impacts can prevent unforeseen consequences. Facilitating change management. By understanding the relationships between fields, you're better equipped to handle changes in data structures or processes. This foresight allows teams to anticipate and mitigate risks before they materialize, ensuring smoother transitions. Enhancing data governance. Tracking downstream fields strengthens your data governance. It ensures compliance with policies and maintains control over data quality, particularly in sensitive or regulated data scenarios. Promoting data literacy. Lastly, educating team members about downstream dependencies fosters a culture of collaboration. When everyone understands the ripple effects of their actions, they're empowered to take ownership of data quality and resolve issues more effectively. Managing downstream fields isn't just about preventing problems. It's about creating a resilient data ecosystem that supports accurate, reliable decision-making. Shall we move on? Let's focus now on field usage and legacy data, an area that directly impacts your data efficiency and compliance. Understanding field usage. The key here is distinguishing between active and inactive fields. Active fields are the ones your organization uses regularly, while inactive fields are sitting idle, consuming resources without adding value. Knowing which fields are truly active helps streamline your data platform by eliminating the clutter, enhancing performance, and focusing resources on relevant data. Challenges with legacy data. Over time, legacy data or outdated data accumulates and leads to inefficiencies. Without proper lineage tracking, organizations struggle to identify and remove irrelevant fields. Managing legacy data is also a matter of compliance. Ensuring that sensitive or outdated fields are tracked and documented helps avoid potential risks and maintain alignment with governance policies. By addressing these two areas, you can simplify your data architecture, reduce maintenance costs, and ensure your data systems are nimble and compliant. It's like cleaning out an old attic. Once you clear the cobwebs and sort through what's worth keeping, you'll find a space that's organized and functional. With great power comes great responsibility. You've likely heard this quote before, often tied to superheroes, but it applies perfectly to managing sensitive data. Data is one of the most powerful tools we have in the modern age, but with it comes the enormous responsibility to protect and manage it properly. Understanding. Data lineage. Tracking the origin, movement, and transformation of sensitive data is essential. By mapping its life cycle, you ensure compliance with regulations like GDPR or HIPAA while managing risks associated with data changes. Implementing data observability, real-time monitoring, and anomaly detection are key to protecting sensitive data. Establishing KPIs, such as time to resolve incidents, helps you measure the effectiveness of your data protection initiatives and stay one step ahead of potential threats. Data governance and security. Strong governance processes are the foundation of sensitive data protection. They maintain control, ensure adherence to strict standards, and safeguard against unauthorized access or breaches. Sensitive data is not just a corporate asset, it's a trust you hold with your customers, stakeholders, and regulators. Protecting it ensures you're not just compliant, but also ethical in your data management practices. Let's use our great power wisely and ensure our systems are as secure as they are efficient. Let's face it, everyone loves documentation, right? It's up there with sitting in endless meetings. Both are perfect for helping you waste precious working hours. But jokes aside, we all know documentation is critical, even if it's not the most exciting part of the job. That's why automating documentation isn't just not a bad thing, it's actually a game changer. Let me explain. Track metadata. Automatically, automation means your systems track essential metadata, like data sources, schemas, and lineages, without you lifting a finger. No more manual updates or chasing down the latest version. Your data repository stays accurate and up to date effortlessly. Utilize metadata management tools, specialized tools, capture and store metadata consistently, reducing errors caused by manual processes. It's like having a personal assistant who ensures your catalog stays clean and organized. Integrate automatic data quality checks. Automatic checks and alerts catch issues early, preventing outdated or inconsistent information from making its way into your analyses. It's like a quality control team working behind the scenes 24/7. Establish data governance protocols. Automation ensures that only authorized users access sensitive data. This keeps your data catalog secure, supports compliance with regulatory standards, and frees up your team to focus on high-value work instead of micromanaging permissions. So while documentation might not be the hero we wanted, automating it makes it a hero we need. It saves time, reduces errors, and ensures your data stays reliable. Maybe now we can all get out of those endless meetings a little sooner. Let's talk about metadata management tools, a topic that rarely gets the spotlight, but quietly holds everything together in data management. At first glance, this might seem like an area where no company would want to spend money. Why invest in something that feels like a behind-the-scenes activity? But let me give you 4 arguments why this investment actually makes a lot of sense. Automated metadata tracking. Automatically capturing metadata, like data sources, schemas, and lineages, eliminates the need for manual updates. This keeps your catalog accurate and up-to-date without additional effort. Argument. Think of the time and labor you save by avoiding tedious manual work. It's an upfront cost that pays for itself in efficiency. Data quality integration. Automatic data quality checks prevent incorrect or outdated information from creeping into your analyses, ensuring reliable decision-making. Argument. Bad data costs businesses billions annually in lost opportunities and wrong decisions. Investing here protects you from those losses, governance and access control. Governance tools restrict access to sensitive data, maintaining security and compliance with regulatory standards. Argument. Non-compliance fines and data breaches can be astronomically expensive, not to mention the hit to your reputation. This helps you avoid those pitfalls. Enhanced collaboration and scalability. A well-maintained metadata system ensures that your teams, from data analysts to engineers, work with the same reliable source of truth. It scales as your business grows, preventing bottlenecks. Argument. Collaboration and scalability lead to better productivity, which translates into better business outcomes. So yes, no company wants to spend money here, but the cost of not investing is far higher. Metadata management is like the oil in your machine. It may not be glamorous, but it keeps everything running smoothly. Let's embrace the tools that make sense for a seamless, efficient data operation. Let's dive into integrating data quality checks, a cornerstone of maintaining reliable, actionable data. Ensuring data quality isn't just a best practice, it's essential for informed decision-making. Establish data quality standards. Start by defining clear standards for accuracy, completeness, consistency, and timeliness. These serve as the benchmark for evaluating data quality across all sources and processes. Think of it as setting the rules of the game. Without them, it's impossible to win. Implement automated data quality checks. Automation is key. Automated checks continuously monitor data for anomalies, missing values, and duplicates. This proactive approach stops errors from spreading and ensures issues are caught early, saving time and preventing downstream problems. Conduct regular data audits. Schedule regular audits to evaluate how well your data meets the established quality standards. These audits provide insights into areas for improvement, ensuring your data remains trustworthy over time. Engage stakeholders for continuous improvement. Data quality isn't a solo effort. It requires input from analysts, engineers, and business users. Their feedback refines standards and fosters a culture of accountability, ensuring data quality aligns with business objectives. By integrating these practices, you're not just maintaining data, you're building trust in the systems and decisions powered by that data. It's like ensuring the foundation of your house is solid before building the next floor. Let's make sure our data quality processes are robust and future-proof. Ready for the next piece of the puzzle? Let's talk about cost reduction through automation, an area where small changes can make a big difference in efficiency and profitability. Automating documentation and metadata management. Automation streamlines tracking metadata, including data sources, schemas, and lineages, ensuring an accurate and up-to-date data catalog. By reducing manual intervention, it saves significant time and minimizes the risk of human error in data management. Imagine this. Instead of spending hours maintaining records, your team can focus on higher value activities that drive business growth. Integration of automatic data. Quality checks. Implementing automated checks identifies inconsistencies in data early, preventing incorrect or outdated information from propagating. This ensures data reliability, which is essential for informed decision-making and prevents costly errors due to bad data. For example, catching a small error in your sales data early can avoid a domino effect of incorrect reports and decisions downstream. Automation isn't just about saving pennies, it's about creating a scalable, efficient system that supports your business as it grows. By investing in automation, you reduce operational costs, improve accuracy, and free up resources to focus on what truly matters: innovation and decision making. It's the classic work smarter, not harder approach, and it's one of the smartest investments you can make. Data governance, one of my absolute favorite topics. It's the backbone of any successful data strategy, ensuring that data isn't just managed, but managed well, ensuring data quality. At its core, governance establishes standards and processes to maintain high data quality across the organization. This involves regular assessments and monitoring to identify and rectify discrepancies, keeping your data reliable and actionable. Compliance and regulatory adherence. With regulations like GDPR and HIPAA, compliance isn't optional. It's essential. Governance ensures your practices align with these standards, implementing policies for data usage, security, and privacy. Facilitating collaboration and communication. Good governance promotes clear communication between data teams and stakeholders. It ensures everyone understands their role in managing and utilizing data. It also fosters a culture of data literacy, empowering employees to confidently use data in decision-making processes. Data governance isn't just about rules, it's about creating a framework that makes data a trusted and valuable asset for your organization. So, here's my question to you. Should I do a special data governance video series? Let me know in the comments if this is a topic you'd like to explore in more depth. Okay, time for a summary of what we've learned so far. Let's tie it all together before we move forward. Importance of team composition. Building a scalable data team isn't just about numbers, it's about structure. A team with over 20 members needs senior leaders to effectively navigate complex, cross-functional challenges. Hybrid approach to data teams. A combination of centralized and embedded structures is the way to go. This allows for focused, strategic projects while empowering cross-functional teams to tackle immediate tasks, boosting efficiency. Challenges in data team organization. Organizing a data team isn't a walk in the park. Communication, role management, and alignment with business needs are tricky and can be derailed by inexperienced management. Indicators of success. Success is all about stakeholder satisfaction and high-quality outputs. Reliable data is essential to avoid costly mistakes, and it keeps everyone happy, from decision makers to end users. Role of data governance. Governance ensures control over data management, especially when teams are embedded in different structures. Clear processes help align efforts and maintain data integrity. Now, before we dive deeper into data teams, here's what you can do. Click pause, grab a fresh coffee, and get ready for some next level insights. Because what's better than caffeine to fuel a deep dive, right? Let me start with an anecdote. I once worked with an educational company that didn't have a proper data team. Instead, they had IT folks, a group some people optimistically called domain data experts. I preferred calling them idiots, and a marketing team that dabbled with databases. It was chaotic, and let me tell you, the situation reminded me of the Alan Jackson song, Hard Hat and a Hammer. Except in this case, I didn't have a hammer, but boy, the management definitely needed a hard hat. This brings us to today's topic, why data teams are absolutely essential. Composition and structure. Data teams vary in size, especially in large organizations where they can exceed 20 members. To handle this effectively, scalability and proper organization are key roles and responsibilities. Key players in a data team include data engineers, data analysts, data scientists, and data stewards. Each role is vital for ensuring data quality and building the logic needed for tasks like automated monitoring. Organizational approaches. Teams can be centralized with all roles housed under one roof or embedded within cross-functional teams to meet immediate business needs. The hybrid model is often the best of both worlds, balancing centralized focus with the agility of cross-functional support. In short, a well-structured data team is like a finely tuned orchestra. Everyone has a role to play, and when it's done right, the results are spectacular. Otherwise, well, you get chaos, hard hats, and songs about hammers. So, what's your experience with data teams? Have you worked in a centralized or hybrid model? Let's keep this conversation going. All right, let's talk about organizing data teams, a topic where I've learned quite a bit. And let me tell you, the lessons often come with a side of humor. Here's what I've discovered. Organizing data teams is not the same as managing them. Why? Because organizing data teams is like assembling a puzzle. You're trying to fit all the pieces together, but one's upside down, another's in the wrong box, and someone's already lost an edge piece. Here's the gist of what I've learned. Understanding team structures. Centralized teams are like one big happy family. Everything is in one place, and there's no confusion about who's responsible for what. Great for small teams, until someone starts hogging all the tasks. Embedded teams are like distant cousins. They're everywhere, working with different groups. Collaboration is better, but good luck keeping track of everyone. Long-term planning, that's when things get tricky. Hybrid model integration. The hybrid model, a mix of centralized and embedded teams. This is where the magic happens. You get focused, strategic work combined with cross-functional flexibility. But here's the catch. It takes money and resources to make it work. Imagine asking your CFO for a bigger budget to hire dedicated hybrid integration specialists. You'll get a look that says, is that even a real job? Key success factors. Communication is everything. If people aren't talking, your team becomes like a bad game of telephone. What starts as data governance ends up as data whatever. Monitoring performance? Absolutely essential. Think of it as checking in to make sure the puzzle pieces are still where you left them and not under the couch. The bottom line? Organizing data teams isn't just about structure. It's about creating harmony between roles, communication, and goals. And if you're lucky, you'll have fewer puzzle pieces left over by the end. Imagine a neighborhood where everyone grows their own vegetables. Each house has its own little garden tailored to their preferences. Some grow tomatoes, others carrots, and a few even grow exotic herbs. Now imagine that everyone shares their surplus in a well-organized market. Everyone benefits from variety without having to grow everything themselves. That's the essence of a data mesh. The data mesh concept is like this decentralized garden-to-market system for your organization's data. Let's break it down. Core principles of data mesh, data as a product. Treat data like a product with defined interfaces designed to meet user needs. Usability and accessibility are the top priorities. Self-organizing teams, just like the gardeners in our analogy, cross-functional teams are responsible for the end-to-end delivery of their data products. This promotes ownership and accountability within specific business domains. Decentralized data management, federated data management. Each team owns their data but collaborates with the larger ecosystem. This enhances flexibility while ensuring oversight for quality and availability. API-centric design. APIs act as the marketplace, facilitating easy integration and interoperability across teams. This ensures a cohesive data ecosystem without overwhelming central management. A data mesh helps organizations scale their data systems by decentralizing ownership and enabling innovation at the team level while keeping everything connected. What gets measured gets managed. Peter Drucker. This quote perfectly encapsulates why data observability is critical. Without measuring and understanding what's happening in your data ecosystem, you can't effectively manage or improve it. Let's break down the steps to initiate data observability. Identify stakeholders. Start by involving key stakeholders such as data analysts, engineers, and business analysts who will be impacted by the observability initiative. Engaging them early ensures their needs are considered throughout the process. Define the scope. Clearly establish what the initiative will cover, such as specific data sources, types of quality issues to address, and success metrics. A well-defined scope focuses efforts and ensures efficient use of resources. Establish key performance indicators, KPIs. Define KPIs to measure success. Metrics could include the number of data incidents resolved, time to resolution, and the overall impact on data quality. These KPIs act as benchmarks to evaluate the effectiveness of observability efforts. Select appropriate tools. Choose tools with features like real-time monitoring, anomaly detection, and compliance tracking. The right tools make monitoring and managing data issues significantly more effective. By following these steps, you're not just monitoring data, you're proactively ensuring its quality and reliability. As Drucker's quote reminds us, measurement is the first step toward meaningful improvement. Let's dive into how we measure the success of data observability. After all, if you can't measure it, how do you know it's working? Here are the key metrics to focus on. Reduction of data. Incidents. Start by tracking the number and severity of data incidents before and after implementing observability. The goal is simple: a measurable decrease in the frequency and impact of incidents. Fewer incidents mean improved data reliability and happier stakeholders. Time to resolution. Measure how quickly your team resolves data issues. Compare metrics pre- and post-implementation. Faster resolution times reflect better responsiveness and operational efficiency. After all, the less time spent firefighting, the more time spent innovating. Data quality assessment. Evaluate key metrics like completeness, accuracy, consistency, and timeliness of data. Look at how improved data quality impacts downstream systems and supports business operations. High-quality data isn't just a technical win, it's a business enabler. Remember, these metrics aren't just numbers, they're indicators of progress. They show how your efforts to improve data observability translate into tangible benefits for your organization. Let's take a closer look at the key roles within data teams, the superheroes of the data world. Each role has its unique responsibilities, and together they form the backbone of successful data-driven organizations. Data engineer, responsible for designing, building, and maintaining data pipelines and architecture. Think of them as the builders who lay the foundation of a data system. Without them, nothing else works. Data analyst focuses on interpreting complex data sets to provide actionable insights. They're the storytellers of the team, turning raw numbers into business-changing recommendations. Data scientist uses statistical methods and machine learning techniques to analyze data and build predictive models. They're the wizards who predict the future of business trends and unlock new possibilities through advanced analytics. Data steward ensures data quality and governance across the organization. They're like the guardians, ensuring that data is clean, accurate, and complies with policies. Each of these roles is essential, but here's my question. Would you like us to do a video series showcasing a day in the life of these data experts? For example, what does a data engineer really do all day? Or what's it like being a data scientist? There's often a big gap between what people expect and what the job actually involves when they enter the world of data science. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a deep dive into these roles. Each of these roles is essential, but here's my question. Would you like us to do a video series showcasing a day in the life of these data experts? For example, what does a data engineer really do all day? Or what's it like being a data scientist? There's often a big gap between what people expect and what the job actually involves when they enter the world of data science. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a deep dive into these roles. In the next slides, I will short introduce you to the roles. Let's take a moment to spotlight the data engineer, the unsung hero of the data world. These are the folks working behind the scenes to make sure everything in the data ecosystem flows seamlessly. If data management were a movie, they'd be the ones building the set, arranging the props, and making sure the lights don't go out during the big performance. Here's a breakdown of their key responsibilities. Designing data infrastructure. They create and maintain the foundational architecture necessary for effective data management. Scalability and reliability are their watchwords. Think of them as the architects of the data universe. Building and monitoring data pipelines. Robust pipelines ensure data flows smoothly from various sources. They're constantly monitoring performance to prevent bottlenecks and ensure efficiency. Implementing data storage. Systems. Establishing sophisticated storage solutions tailored to organizational needs is a critical task. Security protocols are part of the package to protect sensitive information. Automating data transmission. They streamline data transmission processes, reducing manual intervention and minimizing errors. Automation is their superpower, speeding up processes and reducing headaches for the entire team, collaborating with team members, whether it's assisting data analysts with complex tasks or aligning with business objectives. Data engineers are team players. Collaboration ensures that the data ecosystem is cohesive and functional. Let's talk about the skills you need to be a rockstar data engineer. Spoiler alert, it's more than just knowing your way around a SQL database. This role is where technical know-how meets problem-solving finesse. Technical expertise. A data engineer needs to be proficient in data management and processing technologies like Spark, Kafka, SQL, and even NoSQL databases. It's not just about tools. It's about understanding software engineering principles, networks, and system architecture to design scalable, robust data infrastructures. Interpersonal skills. Yes, being good with people is part of the job. Problem-solving skills aren't just about tech. They're about understanding business challenges and crafting innovative solutions. A continuous learning mindset is critical. Technology changes fast. If you're not learning, you're falling behind. Lastly, strong communication skills are a must. Data engineers don't work in a vacuum. They collaborate with analysts, scientists, and business stakeholders to align technical solutions with organizational goals. Here's the reality. You can know every technical tool in the book, but if you can't communicate your ideas or adapt to new challenges, you'll hit a wall. On the other hand, being adaptable and collaborative can turn even a junior engineer into an invaluable asset. All right, let's dive into a common question I hear all the time. What's the difference between a data engineer and an ETL engineer? It's a bit like comparing an architect to a specialized contractor. They share some similarities, but their focus areas are quite distinct. Let's break it down. Data. Engineer focus. These folks are responsible for the big picture, designing, building, and maintaining the entire data infrastructure. This includes everything from pipelines and processing to storage, security, and automation. Role evolution. With data ecosystems growing more complex, the data engineer role has expanded. It now includes responsibilities that go far beyond traditional ETL tasks, managing everything from scalability to data quality across an organization. ETL engineer focus. ETL engineers are the specialists. They handle extraction, transformation, and loading, basically moving and reshaping data so it's ready for analysis. Role transition. Over time, the ETL engineer role has been rolled into the broader data engineer role as organizations recognize the need for a more comprehensive end-to-end approach to data management. Here's the takeaway. ETL engineers are like the craftsmen who refine data for immediate use, while data engineers are the architects who build the whole system to make it all possible. As the demand for more integrated data workflows grows, the lines between these roles blur. Let's talk about two roles that often get confused: data architect and data engineer. Think of this relationship like the difference between a city planner and a construction foreman. One lays out the blueprint for the future, and the other makes it a reality. Data architect role focus. These professionals are the strategists. They design the big picture, creating the overall data architecture of the organization. Their work includes defining data models, structures, and relationships to ensure data flows seamlessly across systems. They also consider scalability, resilience, and aligning tools and technologies with business needs. In essence, they're thinking 5 steps ahead, anticipating challenges before they arise. Data engineer role. Focus. If data architects are the planners, data engineers are the builders. They implement the systems and pipelines designed by the architect, ensuring the data infrastructure runs smoothly. Responsibilities include monitoring systems, troubleshooting, and optimizing pipelines for efficiency. They focus on the technical nuts and bolts, transforming the architect's vision into a functional system. Data analysts, my first real foray into the world of data science. Before that, I was an e-commerce marketing analyst, and let me tell you, that felt like being the drummer in a band, crucial to keeping the rhythm, but always in the background. Transitioning to data science was like stepping into the spotlight as a guitarist, where the real melodies of data-driven decision-making happen. Core responsibilities: data analysts are storytellers of the digital age. They analyze data to provide actionable insights, ensuring that stakeholders don't have to dig through mountains of raw data. They're the ones who clean, process, and create crystal clear dashboards, turning chaos into clarity. Imagine trying to explain trends without them. That's like using smoke signals in the age of smartphones. Key skills required: proficiency in tools like Tableau, Power BI, and statistical analysis. Check the T-shaped skills, absolutely. Deep expertise in data analysis with the ability to collaborate across disciplines. Oh, and don't forget communication, because insights are meaningless if you can't convey them effectively. Importance of data quality monitoring. They don't just interpret data, they ensure data reliability. Continuous monitoring and implementing automated systems keep decisions grounded in facts, not guesswork. Here's a question for you. If you've worked as a data analyst or want to become one, what's the most exciting challenge about the role? Share your thoughts below. And hey, shout out to anyone who made a career jump like mine, from e-commerce to full-on data science. It's a wild but rewarding ride. Would you like me to weave in more details about your e-commerce analyst days? From my perspective, the key tasks of a data analyst can be broken down into 4 major pillars, and they all sound straightforward until you actually roll up your sleeves and get to work. Let's walk through them together. Data, identification and collection. This is where the adventure begins, identifying relevant data sources to answer specific business questions. Think of it as being an investigative journalist, but for data. Collecting data often requires SQL wizardry, API explorations, and the occasional data archaeology when dealing with legacy systems. 2. Data cleaning and preparation. The glamorous world of cleaning data. You'll deal with missing values, outliers, and inconsistencies that make you wonder, who thought storing dates as strings was a good idea? Standardizing formats is like setting the dinner table. If you don't do it right, your guests, aka your analysis, won't have a great experience. Data analysis and interpretation. The fun part, here, We analyze the cleaned data using statistical techniques to extract actionable insights. This is where your dashboards and reports come to life. But remember, good storytelling is half the battle. Your findings need to resonate with stakeholders. 4. Monitoring data. Quality data isn't static, and neither is its quality. Continuously monitoring it to validate accuracy and reliability is essential. Think of it as routine maintenance for your car. You don't want to wait until the wheels fall off. These key tasks are my day-to-day bread and butter as an analyst. All right, let's talk about data observability for analysts, a crucial concept that often flies under the radar but can make or break your success as an analyst. Stakeholder engagement. The first step is to identify and involve all the relevant stakeholders, from data engineers to business analysts. Why? Because observability is a team sport. Everyone has a piece of the puzzle, and if one piece is missing, the whole picture is incomplete. It's about collaboration and ensuring everyone's input shapes the process. After all, if data is the new oil, you need the right team to drill, refine, and distribute it. 2. Defining success metrics. This is the North Star for your efforts. Clear key performance indicators, KPIs, help measure how effective your observability initiatives are. Think metrics like, how many incidents did we resolve? Or, how fast did we fix them? These benchmarks help track progress and demonstrate the ROI of your efforts. 3. Process implementation. Lastly, the actual execution, outlining processes for anomaly detection, monitoring, and incident management. Proactive measures here ensure that analysts aren't left scrambling to explain discrepancies or inaccuracies to stakeholders. Reliable data equals fewer headaches and faster decision-making. Data observability isn't just another buzzword. It's the foundation for ensuring trust in your analytics. All right, let's talk about the role of data scientists, or as I like to call them, the data detectives of the digital world. They're the ones turning chaos into clarity and numbers into narratives. Strategic importance. Why do we need data scientists? Because they're crucial for leveraging data to identify growth opportunities, optimize processes, and enhance products. In short, they're the GPS for business decisions. Without them, you're wandering aimlessly. Core responsibilities. They possess deep domain knowledge, understanding the business context inside out. Using SQL queries and APIs, they collect the necessary data to fuel their analysis. Think of it as gathering evidence before solving a mystery. Data preparation. Data cleaning is a big chunk of their work. Remember, messy data is like trying to drive on a pothole-filled road. It'll get you nowhere fast. They also choose the right algorithms or statistical techniques for analysis, ensuring accuracy and relevance. The model management building models isn't enough. Data scientists regularly monitor and refine them. Imagine planting a garden. You don't just leave it unattended after planting. It needs care to flourish, just like these models. Communication of findings, finally, the most underrated part of their job, storytelling. A data scientist isn't just a coder or a statistician. They're a communicator, bridging the gap between raw numbers and actionable insights. Data cleaning is a big chunk of their work. Remember, messy data is like trying to drive on a pothole-filled road. It'll get you nowhere fast. They also choose the right algorithms or statistical techniques for analysis, ensuring accuracy and relevance. Model management building models isn't enough. Data scientists regularly monitor and refine them. Imagine planting a garden. You don't just leave it unattended after planting. It needs care to flourish, just like these models. Communication of findings, finally. The most underrated part of their job, storytelling. A data scientist isn't just a coder or statistician. They're a communicator, bridging the gap between raw numbers and actionable insights. Let's now dive into the main tasks of data scientists, or as I like to call them, the bread and butter of this fascinating role. If you thought data scientists just push buttons and get magic answers, buckle up. This is where the real work happens. Domain knowledge first. And foremost, a data scientist needs to understand the business context. Why? Because no matter how fancy your model is, if it doesn't align with the business, it's like putting a Ferrari engine in a bicycle. Fascinating, but utterly useless. 2. Data collection. Think of this as the treasure hunt phase. Data scientists use tools like SQL queries and APIs to gather the data needed. The trick? Ensuring it's not just data, but relevant and comprehensive data. Data cleaning here's the not-so-glamorous part. Managing missing values, outliers, and standardizing formats is like scrubbing your kitchen before cooking. It's tedious but essential for creating something brilliant. Data analysis and model monitoring. And now for the main event, analyzing the data and building models. But don't forget, models are like plants. They need constant monitoring and occasional pruning to stay relevant and accurate. So here's a fun challenge for the data scientists out there. What's been your most time-consuming data cleaning nightmare? Let's compare battle scars in the comments. Would you like me to include a comparison or analogy to tie these tasks together more vividly? Let me know. All right, folks, let's talk about one of my favorite pairings in the data world. The data scientist and the machine learning engineer. Think of it like a jazz musician and a sound engineer. One's creating an incredible melody, and the other's making sure it sounds amazing to the audience. But let me tell you, it's not always smooth jazz between these two. I overheard a conversation once between a data scientist and an ML engineer, and it was a little, let's say, spicy. Stick around. It's a great way to understand how these roles work together, or sometimes clash. Let's dive in. Before I share the conversation, let's break down their roles really quickly so we're all on the same page. The data scientist. Their job is all about understanding the business context and the data itself. They clean it up, they build models, and then, this is key, they present their insights to stakeholders. They're the storytellers, the machine learning engineer. Now, these folks take those models and make them work in the real world. They deploy them, maintain them, and make sure they don't crash when your website suddenly has 10,000 users instead of 10. Their job is to make everything scalable and efficient. Got it? Great. Now, here's that conversation I promised you. Data scientist. Okay, I just trained this amazing model. It predicts customer churn with like 97% accuracy. I'm basically a genius. ML engineer. And what happens when we test it on actual production data? Because, spoiler alert, your 97% might drop to 57%. Data scientist. Well, I don't have access to production data. Isn't that your job? ML engineer. Sure, it's my job to deploy it. But if it fails at 3 a.m., guess who's getting the call to fix it? Data scientist. All right, fair point. Let's collaborate then. You get it up and running in production and I'll fine-tune it once it's live. ML engineer. Deal. But if it crashes, you're buying me coffee and helping debug at 3 a.m. And that, my friends, is the beauty of this duo. It's a little bit of push and pull, but when they work together, magic happens. The data scientist builds the vision and the ML engineer brings it to life. Now, here's a question for you. Have you ever seen or been part of a collaboration like this? Or maybe you've been in one of those 97% versus real-world accuracy debates. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. And hey, if you want me to do a full series breaking down real-world challenges for data scientists and ML engineers, just let me know. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, and keep caffeinated. Because you never know when the next 3 a.m. debug session is coming. Did you know the show The Flight Attendant? No? Don't worry, it has absolutely nothing to do with a data steward. But here's the fun part. Much like a flight attendant ensures the passengers have a smooth experience in the air, a data steward ensures the flight path of your data is smooth, reliable, and well documented. So, what does a data steward actually do? Data expertise and understanding? They're the go-to experts when it comes to data sources, structures, and meanings. If your data is messy or undefined, they're the ones who whip it into shape, making sure it's clear and usable for everyone. Think of them as the navigators ensuring clarity in the data landscape. Collaboration and support, they don't work in silos. Data stewards are team players, constantly collaborating with stakeholders and data users. They establish business glossaries, aka the lingo dictionary for your organization, and ensure everyone's speaking the same language, literally and figuratively. And, much like a flight attendant keeps safety at the forefront, data stewards focus on regulatory compliance, making sure your organization is flying within the rules. They also train teams to handle data correctly so it doesn't go off course. Quick question for you. Would you be interested in a deep dive on the role of data stewards in ensuring compliance and fostering trust in organizations? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, keep your data turbulence-free and don't forget to thank your data steward for keeping things on track. Did you know that at our Data Science Academy, one of the most booked courses by companies is the Data Stewards course? Funny thing is, most folks don't walk into the virtual classroom all excited about it. Let's be honest, it's not as flashy as machine learning or deep learning, but here's the twist. By the end of the course, they're grinning ear to ear. Why? Because data stewards are the unsung heroes of data management, and the course shows just how crucial this role is. Let's break it down. What are the main responsibilities of a data steward? Data understanding and management. They know their data like the back of their hand. They ensure it's accurate, structured, and ready to be used effectively. It's not just about knowing the numbers. It's about understanding the story behind them. Training and support a data steward doesn't just hoard knowledge. They share it. They train teams to use data tools effectively and promote best practices to ensure data quality across the board. Issue resolution. When there's a problem, missing data, discrepancies, or anomalies, they're the first responders. They dig deep, investigate, and fix things fast, ensuring smooth operations. Regulatory compliance with ever-changing laws and standards. The data steward ensures data handling aligns with regulations. This is especially critical in industries with strict compliance like healthcare or finance. Data lifecycle, oversight from data creation to deletion, they're there every step of the way, optimizing how data is managed and used. Companies often send their employees reluctantly to the data steward course, but they leave as converts. Suddenly, they see the value of having someone ensuring the reliability and trustworthiness of their data. Challenges in organizing data teams. This is one of those topics where I could make a 48 episode binge watch video series. But don't worry, I won't keep you here all day. That's not the topic today. Let's just hit the highlights of the puzzle pieces you need to consider. Complexity of team structure. Let's face it, putting together a data team isn't as simple as assembling a desk from IKEA. You're balancing innovation, cohesion, and resilience, all while aligning with business requirements. And let me tell you, fostering creativity in a team often feels like trying to herd cats. It's tricky, but worth it. Management inexperience. A lot of the time, data teams run into trouble because of inexperience at the management level. Without effective leadership and clear collaboration, misunderstandings between departments and stakeholders can spiral out of control. Remember, it's not just about crunching numbers, it's about connecting the dots. Resource allocation and coordination. Here's the real kicker: balancing the size of your team with your budget and organizational structure. It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Not too big, not too small, just right. But if coordination among team members isn't smooth, especially in the larger teams, you've got yourself a bottleneck that slows everything down. So, while we're not diving into a Netflix-level drama about data teams today, I'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest challenge you've faced in building or working with a data team? Let's get the conversation going in the comments. All right, folks, let's talk about what makes or breaks the setup of your data team. Think of these as the 5 pillars of your data temple. Get them wrong, and the whole thing crumbles faster than a cookie in coffee. So let's walk through them. Size of the data team first up. You've got to figure out how big this team needs to be. A small team might run lean and mean, but once you go over 20 members, you're going to need a scalable structure to manage that complexity. It's like a band. You can jam as a trio, but if you're running an orchestra, you'd better have a solid conductor. Budget availability. Oh, the B word, budget. It's always the elephant in the room. What's allocated to the team will dictate your tools, capabilities, and overall capacity. If the budget is tight, you might have to get creative with what you can achieve, like squeezing into an economy seat on a long flight. Company size. Then there's the organization size itself. Larger companies have the luxury of specialized roles, while smaller ones might need everyone to wear multiple hats. The level of integration with other departments will vary as well. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Organizational structure. How is the company set up? Are you dealing with silos or a more integrated approach? This will define how your data team interacts across the board. A siloed team might feel like you're playing telephone. Things get lost in translation. Integration, on the other hand, allows for smoother collaboration, maturity of data tools, and infrastructure. Lastly, the tools. Is the company still riding the bicycle of spreadsheets, or have they upgraded to the Ferrari of modern data platforms? A mature data environment opens the door to advanced practices, while a basic setup may need foundational work before you can think big. All right, let's wrap this up with some good old-fashioned metrics that make or break a data team's success. If your data team were a car, these are the dials on the dashboard telling you if you're cruising or about to stall. So here are the 3 key indicators. Stakeholder. Satisfaction, first and foremost. How happy are your internal and external stakeholders? If they're smiling, that's a good sign. Aligning your data efforts with business value ensures that the team is meeting user expectations. And hey, regular feedback, it's not just for school reports. It's essential to know what's working and where to tweak. Quality of data. Outputs data is only as good as its accuracy, consistency, and reliability. High-quality outputs reduce costly mistakes and keep your business decisions sharp. Think of this like your morning coffee. If it's off, your whole day can go sideways. Efficiency in operations. Finally, we're talking about how smoothly your team runs. Are they using resources wisely? Are they fast and effective in responding to needs? Tracking KPIs here will show you if you're a well-oiled machine or in need of a tune-up. And I'll leave you with this gem of a quote by Peter Drucker. Efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. That's the sweet spot every data team should aim for. Let's talk about the powerhouse behind successful data teams, efficiency and efficacy. Think of a data team as the gears in a well-oiled machine. Each gear or team member needs to move in harmony with the others to ensure not just output, but reliable and impactful results. Here's what we need to focus on. Importance of quality and delivery quality is a non-negotiable for any data team. But here's the catch. Quality alone isn't enough. Teams must also deliver on time, meeting the specific needs of the business. Producing a top-tier report that arrives late is like showing up to a wedding with a melted cake. Pointless. 2. Continuous improvement and innovation. The data landscape is always evolving. For teams to stay relevant, they need to embrace new tools, methodologies, and ideas. It's not just about keeping up, it's about staying ahead. Regular assessments can act like a fitness tracker for your team, tracking performance and identifying areas for improvement. And here's an interesting insight from a recent McKinsey and Company report. Organizations that prioritize operational efficiency and innovation in their data teams are 2.5 times more likely to achieve their strategic goals compared to those that don't. Let that sink in. Prioritizing efficiency and staying innovative isn't just a nice to have, it's essential to staying competitive in today's data-driven world. Efficiency is doing things right. Efficacy is doing the right things. Successful data teams master both. All right, let's light up the innovation bulb for data teams. Innovation isn't just a buzzword, it's the fuel that powers data teams to tackle tomorrow's challenges today. Embracing new technologies, innovation thrives on adaptability. Staying updated with the latest tools and technologies isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. From advanced machine learning frameworks to real-time data observability tools, leveraging cutting-edge tech ensures your team remains agile and efficient. 2. Fostering a culture of collaboration. Innovation doesn't happen in silos. Collaboration across departments, whether it's marketing, finance, or operations, creates a melting pot of ideas. The magic happens when diverse perspectives come together to solve complex problems, balancing short-term and long-term goals. We get it. Short-term goals often take center stage, but to innovate effectively, teams need a balanced roadmap that addresses urgent needs while setting the stage for long-term growth. This hybrid approach allows for sustainable progress. Innovative ideas to drive data teams, forward hackathons, and innovation challenges encourage team members to explore new solutions through friendly competition. Dedicated innovation time. Allocate 10 to 20% of work hours for team members to experiment with new ideas, much like Google's famous 20% rule. Knowledge sharing sessions have regular meetups where team members can share insights about tools, technologies, or methods they've explored. Cross-functional immersion. Let data team members shadow or work closely with other departments for a week to gain fresh perspectives. Next up is something close to my heart, team bonding. Let's talk about building connections that go beyond Slack messages and stand-ups. Stick around for tips and tricks to create a dream team. All right, folks, let's talk about something that every great team needs, bonding. A data team isn't just a collection of individuals with technical skills. It's like a rowing crew. Without coordination, you're going nowhere fast. Importance of team cohesion. Imagine a data team where everyone's rowing in sync. Cohesion isn't just nice to have. It's essential for collaboration, communication, and adaptability. It's what makes the team resilient in the face of challenges, keeping performance at its peak. 2. Vision and support. People work best when they know the why behind their efforts. Establishing a shared vision and providing the right resources helps your team align their goals with organizational objectives. When support is consistent, innovation and professional growth thrive. Retention strategies. Want to keep your star players. Mentorship programs, career growth opportunities, and recognizing contributions are the secret sauce. People stay where they feel valued and see a path forward. Impact of data culture. A strong data culture transforms work into a shared purpose. When team members see data as the backbone of the business, engagement skyrockets. This leads to lower turnover and higher satisfaction. A win for everyone. Team bonding is more than just happy hours. Although those help, it's about creating an environment where trust, collaboration, and growth are the norm. Let's take a deep dive into a concept that's a cornerstone for many organizations, the centralized data team structure, ownership and control. In a centralized structure, the data team holds the reins, managing every aspect of data, access, quality, lifecycle, platform, and analysis. This control ensures consistency, reliability, and streamlined processes across all data initiatives. Think of it as the engine room of a ship. Everything runs through a single, highly efficient system. Data roadmap development. Here's where the magic happens: creating a roadmap. This roadmap isn't just a list, it's a strategic playbook, focusing on enhancements, cutting-edge developments, and introducing new tools to align with the organization's goals. Project management and coordination. Effective coordination often requires a dedicated project manager. This role ensures every cog in the data team's machine aligns perfectly with the larger business objectives. It's about more than crunching numbers. It's about steering the ship in the right direction. Advantages of centralization. This structure simplifies complex initiatives like launching data warehouses or rolling out new pipelines. Collaboration becomes easier, communication improves, and the team operates with a unified purpose. In short, it's like having a well-oiled machine. Challenges and considerations. However, centralization isn't all smooth sailing. Coordinating with external stakeholders and other departments can sometimes feel like trying to dance with two left feet. Bottlenecks and alignment issues can arise, potentially isolating the data team from the broader organizational culture. Let's talk about centralization, the good, the great, and the downright genius of keeping everything under one roof. Or, as I like to call it, the Marie Kondo method of data management. Everything in its right place, sparking joy, complete ownership, and control. Imagine being the captain of your own data ship. Centralized data teams have full authority over everything: data access, quality, lifecycle, platforms, and analysis. No mutinies here. This control ensures smooth sailing with consistent standards across the entire organization. No rogue Excel sheets plotting a coup. Let's talk about centralization, the good, the great, and the downright genius of keeping everything under one roof. Or, as I like to call it, the Marie Kondo method of data management. Everything in its right place, sparking joy, complete ownership and control. Imagine being the captain of your own data ship. Centralized data teams have full authority over everything: data access, quality, lifecycle, platforms, and analysis. No mutinies here. This control ensures smooth sailing with consistent standards across the entire organization. No rogue Excel sheets plotting a coup. Reduction of work duplication. Who loves doing the same task twice? No one. Centralization slashes duplicated efforts faster than a ninja cuts through bamboo. Streamlined processes mean fewer headaches and a happier, more efficient team. It's like clearing the clutter from your desk and finally finding your missing pen. Centralization keeps the chaos at bay, but we're not done yet. Stick around as we delve into some quirks and challenges of this approach. You won't want to miss it. All right, let's settle this once and for all. Centralized approach or embedded approach. Which one rules the data kingdom? It's like asking, would you rather have a single remote control for your smart home or a bunch of remotes scattered in every room? Let's dive in and weigh the options. Centralized approach. Imagine a sleek control tower where one team has all the data levers and buttons, ownership and control. This setup ensures one team handles everything from data access to analysis. Think of it like a chef in the kitchen. Precision, focus, and no one stealing your spatula. Coordination challenges. But hey, even the best chefs need help. Centralization can create bottlenecks when other teams are waiting for their slice of the data pie. It's teamwork with a bit of patience. Embedded approach now. Picture data folks embedded in every team, like secret agents on a mission. Integration and responsiveness. These data ninjas ensure every team has what they need when they need it. It's faster, more responsive, and tailored to immediate needs. Long-term roadmap challenges, but beware. When everyone's doing their own thing, keeping a long-term strategy alive is like herding cats. Priorities shift and coordination gets messy. Each approach has its charm. Centralization gives you control and consistency, while embedded teams bring agility and responsiveness. Which do you think suits your organization best? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's see which camp you're in. All right, here's the deal. If data teams were superheroes, cross-functional teams would be like the Avengers. Each member brings their own powers. Data, engineers, analysts, scientists, you name it, combining their talents to save the day, or in this case, optimize data management. But what does this really look like? Let's break it down. 1. Integration of data. Roles cross-functional teams are built to be all-in-one powerhouses. They embed all necessary roles, ensuring data is managed, analyzed, and acted upon within the team. It's like having your IT, marketing, and analytics superheroes all on the same squad. Instant collaboration and fewer silos. Shift in data responsibility. Gone are the days when data sat lonely on one team's plate. In this model, everyone pitches in. Teams are both the producers and owners of their data. So if something goes wrong, guess what? It's on them to fix it. Accountability breeds quality people. 3. Enhanced collaboration and democratization of data. When data flows freely across teams, it's like everyone gets a piece of the treasure map. This democratization encourages better understanding and stronger decisions. Plus, it boosts collaboration across business units because, let's face it, who doesn't want their piece of the data pie? Cross-functional teams aren't just a trend, they're a necessity for organizations aiming to thrive in the data-driven age. Or as I like to say, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, but a cross-functional team, that's an unbreakable web. Let's dive into the benefits of embedded data teams, folks. Picture this. Instead of one lone ranger running the show, you've got a group of mini teams seamlessly integrated across your organization. Here's why that's a game changer. Enhanced collaboration. When data professionals are embedded within cross-functional teams, it's like adding the secret ingredient to grandma's best recipe. Collaboration flourishes and everyone feels accountable for the data's quality. Shared responsibility? Check. Better results? Double check. 2. Improved responsiveness. Need decisions fast? Embedded teams are like the express lane at the grocery store. Their close proximity to the action means they can identify issues and resolve them quicker than you can say, data bottleneck. Democratization of data. The beauty of this approach is that everyone gets a seat at the data table. Embedding roles across teams makes data accessible to everyone, creating a broader, more data-savvy culture in the process. 4. Ownership of data. Quality with embedded teams, quality becomes everyone's business. They're not just resolving issues, they're preventing them. And hey, fewer issues mean higher integrity and reliability in your data. Scalability and flexibility. Think of embedded teams as a Swiss Army knife. They adapt as your organization grows, meeting evolving demands without breaking a sweat. Flexibility for the win. Embedded data teams are all about making your organization more agile, connected, and proactive. As I always say, a great team doesn't just solve problems, they anticipate them. All right, folks, let's get real for a moment, because not everything about embedded data teams is sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes you've got to face the music before you can fine-tune the symphony. Maintaining long-term focus embedded teams often end up playing whack-a-mole with immediate business needs, leaving the long-term data roadmap to gather dust. It's like planting seeds but forgetting to water them. Those big strategic initiatives can start to wither. 2. Coordination and communication issues picture. This, multiple teams all pulling in slightly different directions. Sounds chaotic, right? That's what can happen when data roles are scattered. You'll get duplicate efforts, crossed wires, and moments of, wait, didn't we already do this? A streamlined system is a must to keep the gears turning smoothly. Data governance and control. Here's the tricky part. When everyone's responsible for data, sometimes no one really is, governance starts to feel like a group project where half the team doesn't show up. You need clear processes and accountability, or risk inconsistent data practices running amok. It's not all doom and gloom, though. These challenges are opportunities in disguise. Nail down the focus, amp up the coordination, and solidify governance, and you'll have an embedded team that runs like a well-oiled machine. As they say, pressure makes diamonds. Let's move on to how we tackle these hurdles. All right, team, let's dive into the when of embedded data teams, because timing, as they say, is everything, whether you're launching a product or making the perfect pancake flip. Established data processes. Think of this like baking a cake. You wouldn't start decorating until the layers are baked and cooled, right? Likewise, you need solid foundations, mature data processes, consistent workflows, and a platform that's not just held together by duct tape. Only then can you embed data roles effectively. 2. Focus on business needs. Sometimes you've just got to deal with what's on fire. If business demands are all about quick responses, supporting that product launch, answering real-time customer queries, this is when the embedded approach shines. It's the firefighter of data strategies. Cross-functional team structure, already have squads, pods, or other cool cross-functional teams. Great. Embedding data folks into these structures can be seamless. This setup ensures data responsibility isn't siloed but integrated, like sprinkling some data magic into every corner of your business. 4. Resource allocation and scalability. Lastly, let's talk scalability. If your organization is growing like bamboo in a rainstorm, you need an approach that keeps pace. The embedded model allows you to distribute data expertise across growing teams without sacrificing alignment or focus. So when should you embrace the embedded life? When you've laid the groundwork, have immediate business needs, cross-functional teams, and scalability in sight. It's all about aligning your data strategy with your organization's rhythm. Ready for the next piece of this puzzle? Let's go. The new reality we've faced post-COVID-19 has reshaped how we think about teams, collaboration, and data strategies. Hybrid isn't just about how or where we work. It's about how we work together. Enter the hybrid data team approach. Definition and structure. This model combines the best of both worlds, the focus and control of centralized teams with the adaptability and responsiveness of embedded teams. Imagine having a solid anchor in the central team, while your embedded experts are the ones running swift operations across cross-functional groups. 2. Advantages of the hybrid model. It's all about balance. The hybrid approach enhances focus on immediate needs for cross-functional teams while letting the central team manage those deep, long-term data projects. It also allows for smarter resource allocation. Think of it as keeping the engine running smoothly while still pushing boundaries. Challenges and considerations. Of course, nothing great comes without a price. This model does require more investment. You'll need a dedicated central team and cross-functional collaboration, balancing short-term demands with long-term vision. That's the juggling act. And let's not forget the importance of clear communication and governance to keep it all together. The hybrid model reflects the flexibility and resilience organizations need in this post-pandemic era. It's about crafting a system where teams can pivot quickly while maintaining a steady course towards strategic goals. So the question is, how are you designing your data teams to thrive in this new reality? Welcome to the balancing act that is the hybrid approach. Think of it as the Goldilocks of data team models, not too centralized, not too embedded, but just right for organizations juggling immediate needs and long-term goals. 1. Enhanced resource allocation. The hybrid approach is like having a master chef managing the kitchen while sous chefs are on the floor serving up those urgent orders. The central data team handles the big complex dishes, strategic initiatives, while embedded experts focus on immediate localized needs. Improved collaboration and accountability. When data experts sit at the same table as their cross-functional peers, collaboration thrives. It's like putting the right spices in your recipe. It just works better. Ownership of data quality becomes everyone's responsibility, keeping the kitchen in sync. But wait, every great dish comes with its challenges. Higher investment requirements. The hybrid structure requires more resources upfront, from hiring specialized staff to implementing governance processes. Think of it as investing in both a premium knife set and a high-end oven, not cheap, but worth it for the results. Balancing short-term and long-term goals. This model thrives on managing competing priorities. The embedded team serves up quick wins, but the central team ensures the long-term strategy doesn't get burnt on the back burner. In a post-pandemic world, where agility and resilience are as valuable as gold, the hybrid approach reflects the need for flexibility without sacrificing structure. How are you finding ways to mix the best of both worlds? The data mesh, where data stops being a bystander and starts being a product. Think of it like a city subway system. Each station is a self-sustaining node, yet together they make the whole system function smoothly. Let's dive into what makes this concept tick. 1. Data as a product. Imagine your data like an app on your phone. Easy to use, clearly labeled, and designed with you in mind. By treating data as a product, we ensure it's not just accessible, but actually usable. A well-packaged data product is half the battle won. Self-organizing teams now. Instead of a lone ranger managing the subway, every station has its own team. These cross-functional teams are like mini CEOs taking responsibility for the end-to-end delivery of their data products. 3. Domain-based design. Why should tech domains hog all the limelight? Aligning with business domains ensures data solutions actually make sense to the folks who use them. No more one-size-fits-none approaches. Federated data management decentralization isn't chaos, it's freedom with structure. By letting domain teams manage their own data, you unlock agility without sacrificing oversight. Think of it like letting each station master decide on the snacks sold while still adhering to city regulations. Self-service data infrastructure. Finally, a self-service system for business teams to manage pipelines. It's like an ATM but for data, a centralized platform that empowers without bottlenecks. Data mesh is more than a buzzword. It's a mindset shift. It democratizes access while ensuring accountability. A win-win in the ever-complex data landscape. Data quality management sounds fancy, doesn't it? But let me tell you, it's the secret sauce that separates junk mail data from the Michelin star variety. So how do we ensure our data is 5-star worthy? So, establishing a master list of data quality issues. Think of this as the to-do list for your data team. Every error, inconsistency, or missing piece gets logged here. It's not just a list. It's the foundation for proactive resolutions and continuous improvement. Because if you don't know what's broken, how can you fix it? 2. Collaboration with key data. Users' data quality isn't just the IT department's job. It's a team sport, folks. Stakeholders, business analysts, and users need to be part of the game. Why? Because they're the ones defining the rules, spotting the fouls, and ultimately enjoying the match. Indicators of data quality success. KPIs like stakeholder satisfaction, reliability of reports, and alignment with business value. These are your victory lap metrics. When these indicators are green, you know your data is singing the right tune. The golden rule? Don't wait for bad data to trip you up downstream. Tackle it head-on with a master plan, a collaborative mindset, and clear indicators of success. Welcome to the core of modern data frameworks, data observability in data mesh. Let's break it down and see why this approach is more than just a buzzword. It's the highway to actionable insights. Principles of data mesh picture. A decentralized city where every neighborhood owns and manages its roads. That's data mesh. It decentralizes ownership, giving individual business units responsibility for their data while encouraging accountability. Self-organizing teams ensure that data product delivery is fast and aligned with business needs. 2. Importance of data. Quality good decisions rely on good data. Think of it like baking a cake. You wouldn't start with expired ingredients, right? High data quality ensures consistency, completeness, and accuracy. When domain teams own their data, it fosters trust and accountability, creating a culture of reliability. The role of data observability. Ever wondered how a pilot monitors an airplane mid-flight? Data observability does the same for your data pipelines. It enables proactive monitoring, detects issues before they snowball, and ensures availability and quality across the board. Quick resolutions are the name of the game. With data observability in a data mesh setup, the possibilities are endless. All right, let's dive into a practical roadmap for starting a data observability initiative. Let me kick things off with an analogy. Imagine planning a road trip with a caravan of cars. Each car represents a department or team in your organization. Now, to make sure the entire convoy reaches the destination without breakdowns or wrong turns, you need clear coordination, a map, checkpoints, and maybe even a mechanic on call. That's precisely what a data observability initiative does for your organization's data flow. Step 1. Identify stakeholders first off. Who's in the convoy? Identify and involve key stakeholders who will be directly or indirectly impacted. This includes data analysts, engineers, and even business leaders. By getting their buy-in early, you ensure that everyone knows their role in the journey and feels heard. This step is critical to avoid a lost in translation scenario where IT speaks one language and business teams another. Step 2. Define the scope next. Map out the route. What's the scope of this initiative? Determine which data sources you'll include, identify the most pressing data quality issues, and set success metrics. Without a defined scope, you risk veering off course, or worse, running out of gas halfway. Step 3. Establish key performance indicators, KPIs. Now comes the GPS of your journey, KPIs. How do you measure success? Metrics like the number of data incidents resolved, average time to resolution, and overall data quality improvements will serve as your benchmarks. Think of it like fuel efficiency for your data caravan. The better your KPIs, the smoother the ride. Step 4. Outline processes for data. Observability processes are your pit stops and safety checks. Document how you'll monitor data, detect anomalies, and handle incidents. Well-defined processes ensure that when something goes wrong, like a flat tire, your team knows exactly how to fix it without bringing the entire convoy to a halt. Step 5. Select appropriate tools. Finally, choose the right tools for the job, whether it's real-time monitoring, anomaly detection, or lineage tracking. The tools you select will act as the mechanics and GPS devices for your data observability journey. The key is to pick solutions that align with your organization's needs without overcomplicating the system. Let me end with a quick story. A client I worked with had a sprawling data system, but no observability. It was like driving a car with the dashboard lights off. You don't know when the engine is overheating until it's too late. After implementing a data observability framework, not only did their efficiency skyrocket, but their team morale improved. Why? Because everyone, from the engineers to the business leaders, finally knew they were on the same road, heading toward the same destination. So, as you embark on this journey, remember, it's not just about reaching the endpoint. It's about ensuring everyone arrives together with the least roadblocks possible. Let's imagine your data systems as a large orchestra. Every musician represents a data component, playing their role in perfect harmony, or so we hope. When one instrument is out of tune, the entire symphony suffers. Data observability initiatives are like the conductors, ensuring everyone is playing the right notes at the right time. But how do we know the orchestra is improving? Reduction of data incidents. Think of it as fewer instruments going out of tune. Tracking the number and severity of data issues before and after implementing observability ensures the system is heading in the right direction. Time to resolution. Faster tuning equals a more pleasant performance. This measures how quickly your team can resolve data hiccups, reducing disruptions. Data quality assessment. This is about assessing the clarity and precision of the music being played. Are the notes, data, complete, accurate, and on time? Evaluating data quality directly impacts downstream processes. Stakeholder adoption and feedback. Finally, are the musicians, your stakeholders, engaged with the initiative? Their feedback and buy-in determine whether the system runs smoothly. Now, here's an anecdote. I once worked with a team that had a data pipeline resembling a broken flute. It worked, but barely. After implementing observability tools and tracking key metrics, not only did the flute get fixed, but the entire orchestra was playing a more synchronized tune within months. The key? Listening to every component and acting swiftly. As Claude Debussy said, music is the silence between the notes. In data systems, success lies in eliminating the noise of inefficiency and letting the insights shine. Charles Darwin once said, "It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one most adaptable to change." And folks, if Darwin had ever met a data team, he'd probably say the same thing about them. Data teams have undergone their own evolution, adapting to the ever-changing ecosystem of business demands and technology. Emergence of data teams. In the beginning, there were a few data analysts and engineers, small, scrappy, and focused on the basics like reporting and data management. Think of this as the single-cell organisms of the data world, simple but vital to kickstart the process. 2. Growth and specialization. Then came the Cambrian explosion of data. The demand for insights grew, and so did the size and complexity of teams. We saw the emergence of specialized roles, data scientists, engineers, and stewards like different species in an evolving ecosystem, each thriving in their unique niches. Adoption of hybrid structures. Now, we've entered the era of hybridization. The complexity of managing data has given rise to hybrid team structures, a combination of centralized and embedded elements. This model integrates expertise across the organization while maintaining a strategic backbone. It's like finding the perfect balance in nature, strong roots with flexible branches. The evolution of data teams mirrors Darwin's principle of adaptability. Those that have embraced change and specialized functions have thrived, while others struggle to keep up in this data-driven survival of the fittest. All right, folks, we've come full circle in our data-driven journey. As we've seen, the hybrid data team structure is like the Swiss Army knife of team models, balancing centralization for strategy and embedding for agility. It's a robust way to tackle today's complex data challenges without losing sight of immediate business needs. On the other hand, the future lies in investing in data quality and observability. Let's be honest, no matter how great your strategy is, if the data is unreliable, you're building castles in the sand. Prioritizing data quality ensures a firm foundation for informed decision-making and sustainable growth. But wait, before you close this tab, let me remind you, our journey doesn't end here. Like, share, and subscribe to the Data and Analytics channel to keep the learning going. Your support helps us bring more data-rich insights and tools to your screen. Want to take it a step further? Become a guest speaker at our live stream or sponsor us as a company. We're always looking for passionate voices and like-minded sponsors to bring more exciting content to the data community. For all the details, just hop over to datascience.show. Let's collaborate, innovate, and transform the way the world sees data. Thank you for being part of this journey, and I can't wait to see what we build together next.